Now, just because the CBA there is no CBA, so there's no baseball, doesn't mean that teams can't hire managers because they're not part of the Players Association. The Mets finally hired a manager, and they hired Mr. Buck Showalter.
Overall, good hire. I mean, kind of said it wasn't me. I didn't even get an interview. Um,
How
I
dare they?
tried. I know exactly. I was just kind of flabbergasted. Um, but no, it's exactly who the players wanted. The players got a manager that they wanted. Scherzer, this is who he wanted. Um, if you're paying some guy $40 million, you're gonna listen to who he wants coming in to manage the team. Um, no, I think Showalter is a great fit. I think put this level of talent in front of him, he can put a winning team together. So
Well, and if you go back to the 90s and you look at the Showalter track record, all they have to do is keep him around for a few years. And then if they don't get to the World Series or get results from him, they fire him, and then they'll get to the World Series the next year.
yeah,
I mean, isn't that how that works?
basically, yeah, I
Right?
remember. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a good fit, though. He does a great job everywhere he goes. Guys seem to like him. And the thing that's funny is that, like, he's an old school guy, and a lot of old school guys seem to have trouble in baseball right now. But at the same time, he seems like somebody who could kind of be a hybrid, right? And be like,
kind of like
I
LaRussa a
have,
little bit.
I don't know. I don't even know if Tony La Russa would be a hybrid because he just seems like a
Mattingly,
crotchety old man. Mattingly, yes, I could see him being more of a Mattingly. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, all around good hire. The A's today made their hire. They hired Matt
I'm
or Mark
fired up
Mark
about this.
Kotsay. Are you?
Absolutely
So
fired up about
so
it.
I thought it was cool they hired internally because this last year he was the third base coach, but previously he has been the bench coach.
Hmm.
Typically, those guys have a little bit more of a role than I guess the third base coach, and so he's kind of seen what needs to happen there. Um, I don't know. I thought it was a good hire though. Hire internally a guy who knows what you're doing, knows what you're working with, right?
Yep, and a guy who was a fan favorite in Oakland for the prime of his career as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
he spent 2004, 5, 6, 7
Well,
in
those were good
Oakland.
years. Those were good years for the A's.
Yep, he was a MVP candidate in 2004. You know, he put together some great seasons. He,
Mm-hmm.
was overall, you know, he, best season was in Oakland in 2005 of his career. Like he was a fan favorite there.
Yeah.
Just there, I love it. A former player, internal to replace, honestly
Bob
one of the
Melvin after.
best managers of all time in Bob Melvin with what he
You
did with
think
the
he's really
A's
that
for
high
so
up
many years.
of all
He's
time?
up there. He's up there. I mean, the things he did with the Oakland A's team for years after years, 2012, 13, 14, those improbable
Yeah.
playoff runs. He was
I
there
mean,
for the whole
I
running
give
ball,
him the status of
everything.
a great manager, but I don't know if I put him up there with all time,
I don't know.
just
I
because of
put
what
him
he
up there.
did or didn't do in Seattle. But no, I like Bob Melvin though, and for them to bring in Kotsay to replace him, I think it's a good move. I think they're going to do well with him there. I think it'll be a great fit. He understands the culture as a player and as a, a coach on the staff, and I think he'll be able to continue to implement what they want to do there into the clubhouse. And I think he'll immediately have the trust of the players. I think they're going to love him there, and I think they're going to play hard for him,
Yeah.
regardless of whether they keep the band together, they break it up. I don't know, but
Yeah, no,
anyway.
I think it's great. I think it's great. And no matter what, I think it's smart for Bean to keep a guy in who knows the system,
Mm-hmm.
who understands
Yeah.
kind of the goals and the philosophies and can, keep it going. Because Bean's going to be out in the next couple of years because he's invested in that Boston ownership group that has, major stakes and all over the place. And right now, he's kind of not really taking a huge role. They want him to take a big role, but at the same time, he would have to leave the A's, and he doesn't really want to do that. So um, I think it's just one of those things that Kotsay could be lining up to be more. This is just his next step.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great spot for him.